Welcome back to the Within Podcast. This is your host, Nicky Wallace and Payne, and we have special guests today, Melissa and James with Serendipity Spa. They are transformational life coaches. Wait to hear a little bit more about what they're doing. But Melissa and James will both be at the Potential Within here June 5th, and we are super excited. It's kind of different what they're doing, so from the rest of the modalities that will be in the reset room. But I'm especially excited about this. I've known Melissa for a long time. She probably knows more about me than some humans do in my life, but she's been my esthetician. And we've both seen each other through a lot of life changes, so it's been fun to watch you step into this. But Melissa, I'll kick it back over to you, and you can introduce yourself and James and kind of tell us a little story of how you guys got here, and then we can go from there.
Great. So thank you, Nicky, and the Potential Within and the People Co. for having us on your podcast. And we are so glad to be here. So I am Melissa Poley. I own Serendipity Spa. Serendipity Spa has been open for 13 years. It's a space that houses several independent businesses that all are like-minded, and we work together to help people heal. It's mind, body, spirit place. It's a more of a wellness space. So I've been an esthetician for about 24 years now, in March. And I started in the medical spa industry and then went out on my own 13 years ago. And so as an esthetician, I've always loved really connecting with people, and when people are laying on my table, I am like a little therapist.
I know, I love it. That's why I'm like, you know more about me than you probably should. So
I've always had a passion for that, and had a passion for the connection between mind, body, and soul, and how the emotions affect the body, and which is really, it's going to come out in your skin. And so, yes, skincare, I love helping people look and feel their best when they leave. But my goal when people come to see me is to have their cup completely full when they leave, which it goes beyond the skin. So a couple years ago, I got divorced, and I had some big shifts in my business in terms of the renters that rented from me, and
I forgot
quite
about
a bit of upheaval and let's just burn the shit down to the ground type of situation. And then I found Encompass Life by a complete serendipitous situation, which was I got an email from them asking if I would be part of their podcast. I had yet to ever hear of Encompass Life, anything about them. So I responded to the email, had the interview with Encompass Life, which was with Mark, one of the owners. And after the call stopped recording, I talked to him for about an hour. He explained what Encompass Life is, which is a company where you can choose to go through the classes and just go through them for personal growth, or you can go and enter into their coaching curriculum. So it's a development, it's a personal growth company where they're teaching you, how to develop and grow as an individual. And you can also choose to go through their coaching curriculum. Everything that he was saying to me in terms of how they teach in their company, it's based in scriptures. Doesn't necessarily coincide with this particular denomination or anything like that. It's just very spiritually based. And so everything that he was saying, I aligned with, yes. And so I got off the call and I was like, shit, I think I require going to a class with him. So about a year ago, I went to my first How to Wow class. Enter in James. So James, he's also going through.
Now he's here.
I love it.
James is also going through the transformational coaching piece, but that is actually where I first met him. So would you want to step in and tell your story?
I'll step right in. So my name is James. I came to Encompass Life for knowing more about this quantum life coaching style about a year ago, just like Melissa was saying. And through this last year has brought a lot of challenges on me personally. I had a home burnt down, all the memories and different things, different belongings. I mean, the belongings can be replaced, but memories can't. How I approached that, because of this transformation, it really shifted it within me, allowed me to quickly move through a process of accepting that my life is happening for me,
Yeah.
not to me. And my timing is really always perfect. It was perfect in the sense of digging deep inside of me, going, what else in me needs to get burned out or purged out?
Yeah.
And the deep inner work started happening for me, and realizing that this was a blessing, and speaking that this is going to be bigger and better than my life is going to be, not just the things I have, or but it's my whole life is going to transform.
Yeah.
And really, the inner work that I started beginning to do a little over a year ago shifted me really to a place where our lives were able to then perfectly and with beautiful unity come together. But it probably would not have taken place had I not done the necessary work this last year within me. And so our relationship has been built on this truth, this gut-wrenching, rip your chest open and look inside of me, this true intimacy built on just trust, secure love, and things I never thought possible in a relationship has transformed in our relationship. We've shown up beautifully for each other.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest shift that I've seen with me in our lives. So
yeah. So he signed up for the coaching curriculum. So we met a year ago at our first in-person class with Encompass Life.
Yep.
He was at the time there with a girlfriend. I was there, just there. And so we met, but it wasn't like we were, interacting, so to speak.
Right.
So he signed up for the coaching curriculum immediately. I was piecing it in. So we had yet to be in another class together until now.
Yeah.
And so his house burning down last May, he lives in Minnesota. His house burning down last May, he took a pause on taking classes to deal with that, everything that's going on with that. When he re-signed up for the coaching curriculum, it was the class that I was in.
Okay.
In the meantime, he had broken up with the girlfriend. The house burned down. He went through this transformational shift in his own life. As am I.
Life changed.
Yeah. And so we are intersecting at the exact perfect time.
And not just a girlfriend, but actually she was, I asked her to marry me. We were engaged.
Oh, God.
But there were things that were being revealed in the relationship that I no longer wanted to be a part of. And I knew, based on how things were shifting in me, that it was other than my highest choice.
Yeah.
So backing away from that, with the fire, there was a lot of dramatic, intense things that happened with me, even with my business in Minnesota. I have a business, I have employees, and they're Latino-based people, and ICE really clamped down, and it utterly shut down my business. But it allowed me, and I looked at all these things that happened in really less than a year, as blessings. They were for me. They weren't happening to me. And when I got to that place, and it really helped me. Even the time that my employees weren't working and the business was kind of shut down for a while, it allowed me to really dig deep and go through some real deep forgiveness through different relationships that I've had. And then I was able to come and meet this beautiful soul here. And we're more equally yoked as far as where we were in our relationship.
Yeah. So much. All right, I have so many questions.
Yes.
Shoot.
Okay. First of all, Melissa, I remember when you got this email to go on this podcast, and you were like, I don't even know what this is. I think I'm going to do it. Because you were in kind of a weird spot, I feel like, in life at that point. Why did you even get on the podcast? Like, what? I mean, was it just like kind of fuck
Nicky,
it? Like,
I choose to know. I have yet to even understand how they even found me.
Yeah.
This boils down to, this is a God thing. Like, I was literally like in coming out of one of the darkest spaces I had been in ever in my life. Like, I had thoughts of killing myself. Right. And so coming out of that and starting to come out of that and heal. And then this email comes in that I have absolutely yet to know how they even found me.
Right.
Other than the only thing I can think of is social media and it aligning with a similar fashion to what
Right.
we do. I have yet to know. And then just how it was the perfect time.
Yeah. No, yeah. So, okay, I've done, and Melissa and I know each other, so I've done a lot of this, but just why I'm excited about the work that you're doing is because it's scary. So I've done a lot of inner work, a lot of personal, like mindset work. I have a long ways to go. But when Matt and I were going through our divorce, we all do.
Yep.
Yeah, I found somebody that does like numerology and is able to kind of, you are who you are because of these God-given traits, and you really begin to like understand. And I feel like it changed my life. And sometimes I get emotional when I talk about it. She died, and
Awesome.
I've never been able to find somebody else. But for 5 years, I chose to go to someone like her, which I think is very similar to the work that you guys are doing. Like other people go to a therapist, because I had gone to therapists and it was always kind of like the BS, like, oh, like let's work on this, and it's like, no, like why am I always getting this feedback? Why am I having the same loops in my life? And I think again, it's scary to do this inner work because it's not fun. Like it's not particularly like rainbows and sunshine to sit there and go through some of the darkest thoughts and parts of your life, but I do think it's changed who I am as a person. So do you think that describes like some of the work that you guys are doing, or what do you hope people can get out of some of the work that you're doing?
Well, Nicky, I noticed that you said it's hard and it hurts and all those things. The work that we do and how it quickly can transform,
right,
is the language that we use. Nicky, if you look at some of these things and say, I choose to make this fun and easy and playful and laugh at myself through all my whys that I've communicated to myself about maybe about a situation.
Yeah.
And I choose to make it fun and easy. When you have a position yourself, make things fun and easy, it then therefore will be fun and easy.
Yeah.
Because you've decreed it. Your body's listening to you. Your body's always listening to you. That's the sacredness of our bodies. They're beautifully and wonderfully made in that way. And if you're telling yourself it's going to be hard, well, good luck.
It will be. Yeah, that's fair.
If you make this fun and easy, it then therefore will be fun and easy. And you laugh. We found that with our relationship. We laugh at ourselves. If there's a kerfuffle that comes up and I was a jackass, I quickly laugh at myself. She'll bring it up and I go, son of a bitch, I did it again, or whatever. And quickly move through it, and we make it fun and easy because we've chosen to make it fun and easy. Yeah. Talk therapy, I think we've all done talk therapy. And you can sit in it for years and years and years. We're talking about
Never worked for me.
Why I want to call this more quantum leap is because quickly you move from a level to another, a whole new different level. And at that level, it's like looking up at a building. You go up to the top of a building, a 3-story building, and you look down and you have one perspective. When you go up to a 6-story building, twice as high, you can have a totally different perspective. That's what I'm talking about as far as how quantum leap works and the technique and the training. We have spent together nearly $100,000 on the training that we're going through, and it's very intense. It's very it's intense and beautiful and sacred all at the same time. And listen, talk therapy. Let's just go break that down, okay? You go in there. There's 5 minutes of like chit chat, right? Then you have about 45 minutes of vomiting or complaining. Yeah. Even when we look at scientifically, you look at what happens when you complain. Your whole brain. Never feel like when you're complaining, your head feels more compressed.
Like pressure in the head.
Physically, that's actually what's happening.
Like your skull is actually compressing when you complain.
You ever feel like that when you're complaining and your head gets tighter and tighter? It's really happening. It is happening. There's scientific things that happen down to your cellular level when you complain. So you're sitting there in 45 minutes, you're complaining, you're vomiting, you're blaming, shaming, and hating things all around you. Your body's hearing that, you're listening to it. You're caught in this vortex of confusion and hatred and blame and shame. Then after that, now you're 50 minutes in. Well, then you got to kind of start slowing down. The therapist may throw you out a nugget. They may throw you out a book or look at a YouTube video. And then you have 5 minutes of making a payment and scheduling your next class. How are you ever going to, it's going to take 10 and 20 years to get through something that can be very simple, that we as coaches can bring people through and bring them from a place of surviving to really thriving in their life. That's the big difference between talk therapy and what we're doing.
Yeah, I would agree.
And talk therapy is a lot about the details. You're going to spend time talking about all the details of the particular situation or the reason why you're there. What we do is less about the details. It's more about you can spew a few things, and then all of a sudden we'll be able to discover the pattern within that and work right into that particular piece, worrying less about the details of the situation.
Right. That's so interesting. Allie, are you like, what the hell is this?
No, I mean, I love it. And
She didn't have a lot of context before I brought you guys on, so.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I've done years of talk therapy, and I totally hear what they're saying. It's talk therapy. So, sounds fascinating.
I think, the same. It's like you hear a lot, I think, lately, like fascia and like how your fascia holds different things in your body or feelings or trauma or whatever. I feel like some of the work, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like it almost feels like some of the work you're doing is almost like that. Like, I don't know, you're able to better release like some of the things that have happened in your life. I know that's a really technical sentence I just threw out there, but am I putting it together right?
So we're able to read. We're learning to be able to read the body and signals that the body is going to get off to us, which is going to create us to be coaches to greater and greater levels. Because sometimes your body's going to tell you what's going on before your mouth and your head actually does.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. So when that's kind of what we're going to be doing at your symposium in the reset room. We're going to people will be able to come up and we'll be able to maybe say, okay, so do you have any pains going on? Do you have any ailments? And then just roll right into what's going on with this and give them a little nugget. So then, oh, wow, really? Like you knew that from just because I had a knee pain type of stuff. That's kind of the goal, to get people to root like super fast. But that's what the whole coaching is about.
And
like root cause in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah. And this isn't, we're not diagnosing anybody. I want to make sure that's very clear. We're not diagnosing anybody.
Right.
It's reading body signals and giving reasons to why a particular part of your body is either hurting, or if you scratch yourself in a certain spot. All those things, that when somebody's communicating, will allow us to help quickly coach somebody about what is really going on. Nikki, you mentioned earlier.
Or are you watching us and just like diagnosing?
No. This isn't like a bar trick, and it really truly is sacred about how our bodies operate. And we respect that to the point of we'll do that in coaching rather than pick apart somebody as we're just having conversation with because it can get very in depth, and to leave somebody potentially just hanging on some kind of emotional thing without it going further on, it other than is the highest choice for us as coaches. You mentioned earlier, I get to pick on you because you started talking.
You go right ahead,
You mentioned about things being, I mentioned this already, about being difficult or they're hard, and I choose to remember the other words that you used, emotional or...
Yeah, just being vulnerable.
Like inner work.
Vulnerable, So one of the things that easily start out with is being conscious of the word choices we use. When we're speaking, and as you were speaking, you were saying things that you really were speaking of things that were not really your highest choice. You don't want
to explain that.
Do you really want to make things hard and
no.
difficult? when you're going through this? You don't, right? But then why did you use those words?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm doing a little riffing and coaching with you. And,
no, it's good.
And this is the
Melissa's
really
done this to me during my facials too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, here she goes.
Oh, we're going in. Okay.
Now you got two of us.
No. I actually do like doing this work just because of the experience I've had. But I do think I say probably the more I've learned about some of it and talking to Melissa, I do think there's some things that words like the heart or whatever that create then your reality that I could change. So yeah, keep schooling me on this.
Conscious language is the huge piece to it, because again, as your body's listening to you, it doesn't know. I think it doesn't know what's the truth or reality or fake. What you speak is so important to how things are gonna, how your environment, how you create your environment, your thought life, and what goes on around you.
Yeah. Your words are creating your reality. We are creating our reality when we speak, and our brain is very literal. So whatever you tell it is what is going to happen.
It's going to believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that saying: if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you tell yourself even further, not just the thinking, but you tell yourself, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you?
Piece to this is being conscious of the language we are using, and have intent when we speak, and rather than use words. And it has to do with our culture. There's no right or wrong, and part of it too, doing this work is realizing, hey, there's no right or wrong. You're not putting into the wrong all the time.
Right.
It's something that we're.
Move closer.
Get closer. Am I moving away here?
We can see you.
Again, the conscious language is the important part of this, and working with people, understanding that, and speaking from a point of intentional speech, that you really truly feel what you're trying to communicate, rather than speak and almost like a babble words.
So I'm going to ask you the question, why do you think me, Allie, you guys, when you first started this training, why do you think that we talk the way that we talk? Or like have the conversations like, oh, this is hard, or oh, this is like, where does that come from?
It's something that's passed down generation to generation.
It can be generational. It can be from your childhood, but the conversations start from whatever story or narrative or lie that you told yourself from whenever it happened. And this doesn't have to be like a major trauma. It could be something minor that happened, but whatever you told yourself about it is the conversation that then keeps playing out.
Right.
You're getting back to why we speak that. That was your question about why we speak that.
So like is that like the generation thing?
Yeah,
makes sense.
So
but
it can even happen when you're in utero, when you're still in your mom's stomach or belly. You're hearing conversations, you're feeling what's going on in the home. If there's complaining and hate, and the words that are choices that are coming out, you are picking up all of that. Words carry vibration; they carry power, right? And so, learning that from your family members, the people that you surround yourself with. You've heard the expression. You are who your friends are, or who you hang out with, and how they speak. If you were around parents that communicated solely love and encouragement with each other, would your language be different?
Right. Yeah, that's
Probably
fair.
would be. Yeah. And we're not blaming any parents here. It's that it's just been a long history of speaking really from a place of babble, and we're other than really knowing what we're truly saying at the time, because we're in a lot of times you're in a place of separation from your true self.
Yeah.
And the power of this is when you align your thoughts, your words, and the feelings behind what you're speaking. That's where power comes in, and then you're speaking from true intent and speaking from a place of really the love that comes out of you. We're all made in love, and speaking in terms like that brings about an environment that it creates your highest good.
Yeah.
Instant manifestation.
I know. My sister, who you'll meet at the event, and Melissa, I've said like a million times, I feel like in the last 13 years we've known each other, that you need to meet her. But she actually talks about this a lot with her son. So when she was pregnant with her son, she had like a crazy, like a fraudster person when she like was expanding her business that came in and did all this stuff and took a bunch of money and didn't actually do the work. And so she had like a very stressful pregnancy. And he's having now some different things come up that she's like, I swear that he's like this because of, you know, what went on. Like he didn't necessarily have a stress-free in utero experience. So it is interesting. She does a lot with like Louise Hayes too, of like being grateful and like the conscious speaking. Okay, so I feel like this is gonna be like way over a lot of people's heads because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. So where like don't talk like this or don't like they're not exposed to kind of like the conscious thinking or conscious speaking. So where do you start with people if you're talking to somebody that has never even heard of this, or Allie, I don't know, maybe you've never even heard of this now that you're like listening. Like where do you start with people? Obviously they've probably either been introduced or know of you somehow. I feel like you guys never like have a ton of marketing around some of this stuff. I think it's a more referral, but where do you even start?
Well, it's actually quite simple. There's no magic thing or equation we bring in, but it's really start by listening. Nicky, you mentioned things and I keyed in on what you said, and then I talked about that piece.
Yeah.
So it's really whatever comes up is going to come up, and it's from that point we'll use that as a platform to go from, and just listening to somebody speak.
Yeah.
The other piece is we're going to start doing at the spa some classes. We'll be offering a class in June that specifically speaks on conscious language for people to come, a 2-hour class. So it's very like introductory for people to come and learn about it, and then have opportunities to get coached through things. We're going to be more interactive. We're starting to promote on social now the transformational coaching piece.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be doing more stuff on that. This symposium will be a great stepping point as well. But yeah, we're going to be doing more posts on the conscious language choices. So for example, like to do a little example.
You're going to do it on me or on Allie?
Either one. Who wants to do it? Let's, Allie or you? Allie, let's do you, because I feel like Nicky, I've done this with you before.
Okay.
So Allie, say I want.
I want.
Say it again.
I want.
Okay. Now say I desire.
I desire.
So say it again.
I desire.
You're saying it with a question mark on the end.
Oh.
Okay.
So say I desire.
I desire.
What sounds better? I want or I desire in your body?
I desire.
Yeah. So that was a question mark too.
Yeah.
As you said it. So just reading how someone's even speaking, the tones, you can figure out if they're saying it is a question. That means their body has yet to believe it. Okay. So, but those specific language choices, I want is coming from a place of lack. Want is a desire you'll never have. Whereas when you say I desire, you can feel that in your body. It feels different. So the frequency is different. So teaching people those simple choices, which will be mostly what the class is about, but that's going to come up when someone's going through their, whatever's going to come up within them, whatever pattern they've got going on, speaking, the tone, like I said, that you've ended it, you're saying it with a question mark at the end. All of that comes up, which then we can coach someone through it and then decree them in a different way.
So what do you think has been the biggest change, and I'm going to ask both of you, in your life outside of finding each other, like that you've noticed with doing this work? Personal.
Yeah.
We know you fell in love and now you got this great story, but like what do you think has really changed you the most?
So for me, specifically after this most recent class I went to in South Dakota, I would say really having greater levels of awareness with the patterns that come up. So as your patterns, they don't just disappear. They're going to come up harder and harder and harder the more healing you do. It's just like the little crack. They're going to find a little crack or crevice, and then they're just going to ease their way back in, and you're like, damn, what the hell? This is coming up again. But it's for me to become aware, and the goal is to get myself to a point where the greater levels of awareness come in. So I'm like, oh shit, this is my pattern coming up again. Right. And get out of it faster rather than stay in the loop of that. And so I would say for me, it's the greater levels of awareness of my pattern. And then as I change that and I become aware of my patterns, then I parent differently. My kids are changing. My relationships are changing. Yeah. My environment at work is changing. Right. I mean, I have the perfect team now at Serendipity, which has taken me how many years, Nikki? You know this.
Yeah, I know.
At this point.
You do have a great team. They're very fun.
Yeah, so as I change and I change the way I am, my reality is changing, which is what we just talked about. Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of highlighted a little bit before, but I'll expand a little bit more. There's kind of three things. So you said one thing, but they all kind of will work together. That's fine. Is being truthful. Mm-hmm. Being truthful with myself, being truthful with a partner, even if I feel like it's going to cause a rift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So being truthful and speak in terms of I feel. When I come from a place of I feel, like we just actually did this last night. Yeah. And we're constantly doing it. But if I say you made me feel, the conversation is really shut down because people will go into a place of defense. So a couple things, me being truthful, me feeling and speaking my feelings without having apprehensive or being afraid of what I could look like, or the other person not accepting me or listening. And from that, from those, there are stepping stones to lead into something that's called secure love. When I come to a place of being open and being truthful with myself and others, it opens up all these possibilities. And then what comes in next is the secure love. And once I begin to start realizing that no matter what comes up, Melissa's going to stay and I'm going to stay, the secure love just keeps going deeper and deeper.
It's so interesting.
And so that is probably the biggest thing that shifted in me.
Yeah. I do think, and the more work I've done kind of in this wellness space and personal work, there are so many people in this world that go through their days just acting to appease somebody else or to escape a conversation or to escape some hurt of some sort. And it is the work that I've personally done. It is like fascinating that we've, like, as a society gotten to this place that that is the norm, right? Like, oh, I can't hurt your feelings, or oh, I don't want to, make somebody mad or whatever, but then you carry that hurt, or that person carries, whatever is going on. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We all have work to do there, but
we're constantly beginners in this. I mean, you're constantly learning and changing and growing, and like we said, like as you continue going to the next level of healing, you're gonna keep upgrading, but those patterns are still gonna come there with you. Yeah. And so the goal is to just keep you getting to a point where the awareness is faster and faster and faster. Right. Not that the pattern just disappears. Right. It's that your awareness becomes more clear. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good.
I know. I'm like, Allie, do you have any?
No, I just think, I think about the work that I do, like from a generational standpoint, right? Yes. And so like every generation brings their own stuff, but every generation has stuff, right? And so every generation goes back and blames the previous generation for all their stuff. And it's like, no, like each generation is like, has their own, and they're calling out the previous generation. And it's typically the generation that just doesn't like what they're calling out, right? So everyone's blaming Gen Z. They're lazy. They're, you know, they don't care about their work. They're too emotional, right? But it's like you're actually calling it out because you wish that's what you were, right? But you just didn't have the skills to do it. And so bringing it back to like just showing up for work. And I know the personal stuff shows up at work just as much as the work stuff shows up at work. But right now the world is having this huge issue with like how Gen Z shows up to work because no one is prepared for people who show up as their authentic self. And I think that's really what you're coaching is your authentic self is super important. And for years we have been covering up our authentic self.
Yes.
Yeah, Allie, good point. And I just say, I use the word more we, but I really should speak in terms of I in the past wore masks to cover up my own inequities and to cover up my own weaknesses, therefore coming to a place of being very disingenuine. Yeah. And that starts to tear away yourself from yourself. And relationships become more difficult. Connecting with your own self becomes much more difficult. And we live in this culture of this image, and you have to keep up this image of this and that and this and that, and nobody wants to admit fault. You see this from our politicians all the way down into the family. And we make mistakes, but stop looking at it as in like, you know, you're right, somebody's right or wrong. They're not right or wrong. It's just a choice and then the result. It's a choice and a result. And again, that's coming to a place of being more conscious really about what we're saying and what we do, and being being open about it, and revealing and basically telling yourself, but do so in a way that is not heavy. You could do it in a playful way. You can have fun while doing this.
That's right.
And choose to make it, like I said earlier in the podcast, choose to make it fun and easy. Right. When I'm able to be playful with Melissa, wow, things can quickly change. You see kids in the playground, look at they're playing. Go back to that. Remember the days when you were in the playground and you were with kids and something happened and you just had fun and quickly you just went from a place of being mad at somebody to right away jumping back in and playing with them. And how that the power really is, and really watch how kids behave. You know, we need to get back to that place as a society and have some playfulness and stop treating this right and wrong so heavily and dogmatic, like you're bad then if you admit that you're wrong. It's actually a healthy thing, and it will transform your life doing it that way.
So interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, I feel like we could probably go down like 5 million scenarios here, but we're excited to have you guys. I'm excited to have you. I know Allie probably hopefully is like, okay, now that I know what this is. I think the work that you're doing is just so different from a lot of the people that we've had part of the Potential Within, because so much of it is like the physical side, right? Like the stress release, and you don't always and at least my experience in Des Moines is we haven't had as much of like the inner work outside of traditional therapy. So I'm excited to have you guys, and I'm excited to kind of see how people respond and what they do. And we'll have to talk through how to get you guys all set up in there so that people can kind of understand what you're doing. And I feel like a lot of people last year just would walk up and ask about a modality or ask about something. So it should be good, and I hope people take advantage of you guys being there. So
we're really excited, and we're really grateful that we are able to be a part of this and kick this off. It's awesome.
I know. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys joining. Where can people find you? I guess let's make sure that we have that on here, and then we'll put it in the show notes as well. Is it just the Serendipity sites, or will you tell us?
DSM.com, and then we do have a link in bio, but you can get that through our website.
Okay. I know, I was on it the other day.
And then, of course, Instagram, Facebook. We're LinkedIn up now, too, so, yes.
Serendipity.
Serendipity Spa, DSM.
DSM for Des Moines.
Yep.
Okay.
DSM. Yep.
Okay.
I know. James, when are we going to see you on some of her reels? She has some good ones.
He's been on a few.
Have you? must have missed
Yeah,
it.
you better dial in there and see.
I like the one that you were posting of all of the posts. I actually clicked on it and I was like, yes. I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that was good.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. And we'll see you June 5th at the event. And we appreciate you kind of sharing some of your work, and we look forward to hearing more. So thanks everybody to listening. This is the Within podcast, and we'll see you next week.